Hi friends, in this video we will discuss three things. First, the inferences drawn by Einstein from Michelson-Morley experiment. Second, we will learn about the postulates of special theory of relativity, and then using these postulates of special theory of relativity we will determine Lorentz transformation equations. Here first, the inferences drawn by Einstein from Michelson-Morley experiment. From Michelson-Morley experiment, Einstein concluded that anything that doesn't have any physical existence cannot be taken as the reference to study motion of an object. That is, ether, which was a hypothetical invisible medium, cannot be taken as reference for studying motion of objects through it. It means ether cannot be considered as an absolute frame of reference. He told that the concept of ether is meaningless. Also, from this experiment, he concluded that speed of light remains same for all observers. If we come to the postulates of special theory of relativity, then the special theory of relativity is based upon two basic postulates. First, all the laws of physics remain the same for all inertial observers. Second, the speed of light is constant for all inertial observers. Here we are talking about inertial observers because special theory of relativity is applicable only for inertial frames of reference. Now we will come to Lorentz transformation equations. In my first video related to theory of relativity, I had told you that the transformation equations are the equations relating the coordinates of a point as seen by one observer with the coordinates of same point as seen by another observer. Here in Lorentz transformation equations, we will consider that the position of a point not only depends upon the Cartesian coordinates of the point, that is on x, y and z, but also it depends upon the time. In Galilean transformation equation, we had considered that the time of an event for two observers will be same, but later on it was established that time of an event is also relative for two different observers. Say, if an event takes place in India at a particular instant, then the time of that event for an observer sitting in Britain or in US or in Pakistan will be different. It means the time is also relative. Here in Lorentz transformation equation, relativity in time will also be taken into account. Thus, position of a point will be specified by the Cartesian coordinates of the point and the instant at which position of the object is at that point. Now, using postulates of special theory of relativity, we will obtain Lorentz position transformation equations. Here, to obtain position transformation equations, we will assume that a pulse of light and two frames S and S dash having observers O and O dash situated at their origins will be coinciding at t is equal to 0. Frame S remains stationary while frame S dash starts moving parallel to x-axis with speed v. Also, the pulse of light starts moving at t is equal to 0 parallel to x-axis, and at a later instant both the observers observe the pulse of light. As position as well as time both are relative, so the coordinates of pulse of light for observers O and O dash situated in frames S and S dash will be, say, x, y, z, t and x dash, y dash, z dash, t dash. Now we will find out the expressions for x dash, y dash, z dash, t dash in terms of x, y, z and t, and those relations will be called Lorentz position transformation equations. Since position of pulse at t is observed by observer O at instant t, while by observer O dash at instant t dash, and we know that the speed of light is constant for all inertial observers. So this distance along x-axis from observer O to pulse P will be x and will be equal to ct, while the distance of pulse P from observer O dash along positive x-axis will be x dash is equal to c t dash. Also, this distance OO dash will be different for both the observers, since the time taken by pulse in reaching from O to P is different for both the observers. For observer O dash, this distance will be Vt dash, while for observer O, this distance will be Vt, because for observer O, the time taken by frame S dash in reaching from O to O dash is T. Now we will establish the relationship between x, y, z, t and x dash, y dash, z dash, t dash. From figure, x dash will be directly proportional to x minus this distance, and this distance for stationary observer will be Vt. So x dash will be directly proportional to x minus Vt, and this implies x dash is equal to, say, k is some constant of proportionality, so k into x minus Vt. It is number 1. Now distance of pulse P along x-axis for observer O, that is x, will be directly proportional to x dash plus this distance, but x dash is for observer O dash, and for observer O dash, time from O to O dash is t dash, so this distance x will be directly proportional to x dash plus Vt dash. This implies x is equal to k x dash plus Vt dash. As there is no motion along y and z axis, so y dash will be equal to y and z dash will be equal to z. Also, speed of light being constant for both the observers, x will be equal to ct and x dash will be equal to ct dash. Now, using these 5 equations, we will determine the value of k, and for that, first using equations 1 and 2, we will obtain an expression for t dash. So from 1 and 2, from 2 x upon k will be x dash plus vt dash, and value of x dash can be written from 1. So it will become k into x minus vt, that is x dash plus vt dash. To obtain expression for t dash, we will divide both sides of this by v to get t dash is equal to x upon kv minus kx upon v plus kt, and this implies t dash is equal to x upon v will be taken as common, so x upon v into 1 upon k minus k plus kt. It is the value of t dash. Now this value of t dash we will put in equation 5. From equation 5, x dash, that is kx minus vt, kx minus vt is equal to c into t dash, c into x upon v into 1 by k minus k plus kt. From here we will bring the terms containing x on one side while terms containing t on another side. So we will have kx minus cx upon v into 1 by k minus k is equal to ckt plus kvt. This implies we will take x as common, k minus c upon v 1 by k minus k into x is equal to, here we will take ct as common to get k plus v upon c into k. Now dividing both sides of this by 4, x will get cancelled with x and ct with ct. We will get k minus c upon v 1 by k minus k is equal to k plus v upon c into k, and from here k will also get cancelled with k, and we will get minus c upon vk plus ck upon v is equal to vk upon c. This implies terms containing k in numerator will be taken on same side, so ck by v minus vk by c is equal to c upon vk, and this implies k will be taken this side, so k square into LCM will be vc and c square minus v square equal to c upon v. We will get cancelled here and we will get k square is equal to c square upon c square minus v square, and it can be written as 1 upon 1 minus v square by c square, dividing numerator and denominator both by c square. This will give k is equal to 1 upon under root 1 minus v square by c square. Now Lorentz position transformation equations can be obtained by putting this value of k in 1 and 6. If we put k is equal to 1 upon root 1 minus v square by c square in equation 1, we get x dash is equal to x minus bt upon under root 1 minus v square by c square, say equation 7. Then y dash will be equal to y and z dash will be equal to z. Now the only expression left is of t dash. For t dash, x upon v in denominator k and 1 minus k square. K square means 1 upon 1 minus v square by c square, and plus kt, that is t upon under root 1 minus v square by c square. This will give x upon v into 1 minus v square by c square minus 1 divided by 1 minus v square by c square and multiplied by k. K itself is 1 upon under root 1 minus v square by c square. So plus t upon under root 1 minus v square by c square. This will give x upon v into minus v square by c square divided by under root 1 minus v square by c square plus t upon under root 1 minus v square by c square. Now denominator of both the terms is same, so we may say that t dash is equal to t minus v will be cancelled by v square, vx upon c square upon under root 1 minus v square by c square. It will be the transformation equation for time. Thus, Lorentz position transformation equations will be represented by equations 7, 8 and 9. Now we can determine the inverse transformation equations, that is the coordinates of pulse P as seen by observer O in terms of coordinates of P as seen by observer O dash. That is, we can determine x, y, z, t in terms of x dash, y dash, z dash, t dash. And to determine Lorentz inverse transformation equations, we will determine t instead of t dash from equations 1 and 2. And then that value of t will be put in x is equal to ct to get the value of k. The value of k will come out to be the same, and using this value of k in 2 and the new expression for t, we will be able to obtain Lorentz inverse transformation equations. In my next video, I will tell you the Lorentz velocity transformation equations using these position transformation equations. Then we will study velocity addition theorem. That is the theorem that will prove that the maximum possible speed in universe is the speed of light, and no speed can be greater than the speed of light.